guys, Cassie Kitzmiller here with you again today. And today we're jumping into a topic that is near and dear to my heart, one that I am passionate about. And I hope by the end you are passionate on it as well. Okay. So we are talking today about 3 ways to get leads off of social media. Now, there is a lot of information out there on how to get leads on social media. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of them work. Okay. You can get leads from social media. But here's what I found. I found when you rely on social media as your main lead source, a couple things happen. Number one, you get sucked into spending a lot of time and focus, a lot of mental energy on keeping up content for social media, on engaging with your people on there, on building those relationships, on keeping the algorithm happy. It takes a lot of mental energy. And as a business owner, we know how valuable our mental energy is. And all that time we spend focused on social media, whether we're doing it ourselves or paying a social media manager, it's time that we're taking away from our clients, from money making activities, and from actually being able to build genuine connection with leads and not just becoming a social media connection. Okay. There is a difference. Now, another thing that I found when it comes to relying on social media for leads is that it is so variable. Depending on what's happening in the world, what is happening in the news, what is happening in other people's feeds that are in similar industries, no matter how great the content you put out there is, a lot of times it gets overlooked. And that means that you are out of control on who's seeing your content, on who's seeing your promotions. We've all had groups where we've done a challenge and they've gone great. And then we've had groups where we've done a challenge and Facebook just doesn't show it to anybody. They're just not seeing it. So we as business owners want to be in control and at least have the opportunity to get our content in front of people. And here's the final thing, guys. On social media, the leads that we get, even when they're warm leads, even when they've had a chance to kind of warm up to us, watch some videos, talk to us in Messenger, all of that, they're not as qualified because we are almost having to promote ourselves and try to catch their attention instead of serving them when they come looking for us. Okay. So we're going to talk about today 3 ways to get leads off of social media. And I'm going to give you some of the insights and the secrets that we have implemented in the Six Figure Offer Club in the last 9 months that have truly transformed the way that we convert our leads, that we nurture our leads, and our closing rates are through the roof. So, guys, this is good stuff. Stick with me, okay? Now, we are going to jump in here to how to actually get your lead acquisition system in place. Okay. I'm going to give you 3 different ways to do it here. And I want you to know that while social media works and you may get bigger numbers quicker, what I'm teaching you today gives you much higher qualified leads so that smaller numbers convert much higher. And so you were able to create much more genuine connection and actually get to serve your leads instead of just always trying to engage with them and create that like social media kind of quick content. Okay. It's a whole different way of looking at things. All right. So lead acquisition opportunity number one is creating really valuable client journey based content. Okay. And this content has to be searchable. So, what does that look like and what does that mean? That means that you, as the business owner, as the professional, as the expert in your field, you are creating really helpful, good, useful content that is able to be found by your clients who are looking to have their problem solved. So, for example, it is a beautiful day here where I'm at, and we are going into the fall season if you're watching this fairly live, and there are leads everywhere. Everywhere there are leads, right? Can you imagine that if there was an article where I get online, I'm looking for a solution to get the leaves out of my yard, and I'm searching for a solution, and a local leaf cleaner upper, I don't know, yard guy has an answer to the solution that I need, right? He has the answer. How much more likely am I to hire somebody who has the answer to the problem that I'm searching for than if I kind of just have the leaves in the background of my mind and I'm scrolling, my social media feed and something just kind of is talking about it in the background, right? I may be interested in it, but I'm not actively searching for a solution. When I get online and I'm looking for a solution and somebody has the solution and they take care of me and nurture me towards the sale, you had better believe I am a way more qualified contact, right? Way more qualified lead. That's what we want you to do. We want for you to be able to say, this is the problem I solve. These are the people I solve it for. Let me create some content that's really, really good. And there's a lot of different ways to go into content creation. I'm going to share three quick ones here that I really think will help kind of clear it up for you. So a lot of people get stuck on how do I create content? Where do I put it? Keep it simple. Okay. If you like to create content via audio, so if you like to just sit down, you don't have to worry about hair, you don't have to worry about makeup, you just want to push play and record, then creating a podcast is a really great way for you to be found and to get your content in front of those who need it. Okay. If you are somebody who really prefers sitting down with your computer, with a notebook, and writing, the way your brain works, you just say, I have to get it out of my head and I have to get it either onto paper or onto the computer. Awesome. Then you can do really well with text based media, such as a blog, such as a private community, like I'm going to talk about in a minute. You can even use it as a book and set it up as kind of like a book funnel that way. But you want to make sure that you're creating content in the way that you're going to create it so you get it made. Finally, if you're somebody who likes video and you just really enjoy engaging with your audience on video, then YouTube is a great place for people who are searching for the solution you have. Okay. Now, there's other platforms you can use. Yes, you can put this you can put it in Facebook, but Facebook is not a searchable platform. They're not a search engine, they're a social engine, right? Social platform. So we want to make sure that we're putting that content in places that people are searching for the solution. Google SEO can really play a part in here, and having Pinterest pins running, because again, Pinterest is a search engine. It's a great way to get even more traffic for people who are searching for your content. But step number one is that you want to create content, really good content. One core piece a week is all it takes to really position yourself as that industry expert. And this content lives forever. It is not locked in a Facebook group where people have to go, try to find your group and get in and find the videos and go to the units. And no, they are searching in real time. And if that content is out there in a way that they can easily find it, they are able to pull it up at any point. I had a pin from a blog that I did when I first started an online business on family game night. 2 years later, I had somebody reach out to me who had been at a networking event that I went to and said, Cassie, I found your post on family game night on Pinterest 2 years later, and that blog wasn't even active. That's the power of search engine related content, guys. So powerful and so incredible. And again, it's priming your leads. All right. So, number two. All right. So, you've got content going out there and it's attracting leads who are searching for the problem you solve, those really good leads. Okay. Now, what's another way? So, you've got that running, you're creating one piece of content a week, you're putting it out there, you are optimizing it for searchability. What is another way to be able to magnify your reach, to attract new leads, maybe a little quicker? Like you're like, Cassie, I've got something I've got to get off the ground like now. How do I go about doing this quicker? All right. Number two is to get yourself interviewed as often as possible. As often as possible. And I'm not just talking an interview like we think of as like a news interview, okay? Nowadays, there's so many ways to get yourself in front of an audience in a way that allows you to be introduced to them. Why do we want to make it an interview type setting? There's a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is because it gives you instant credibility, instant authority. When somebody asks you to come into their space, they set you up, they introduce you, they tell their audience who you are and why they should listen to them. Instant credibility. Okay. Another reason is because it allows you to get in front of an audience that you may never be able to reach on your own. This is the power of having a network that allows you to get in front of their leads, the people that they've worked so hard to gain. They trust you enough to bring value and they're introducing you to their leads, their list, their people. Guys, that's so valuable. And finally, it really allows you to hone and refine and test and just Get even more comfortable sharing your message and seeing how it connects and relates to your audience. So the more often you get interviewed, you can go back and watch it. It's painful, I know, but you can go back and say, okay, that made sense. This, I think I talked too long here. I got really great feedback from this particular audience. I need to focus on more, people who are serving this group of people. Or, I thought that was really going to connect with the group of people and it just didn't. Was it my message that was flat, my offer, or was that just not the right group? The more often you get interviewed, the quicker you grow your list, the quicker you build authority, and the more rich and robust your network becomes. Okay. So if you have something that you are launching, if you have something that you are releasing, that you are promoting, getting yourself booked on interview type events can really magnify the opportunity to get that sold, to get new leads in there, to have somebody there ready to sell to, right? So this can look like a lot of different things. Podcasting is really, really big right now. You can have online summits. I've gotten some incredible leads by online summits, and a lot of those are pre-recorded. So those are really nice. In-person events. Now, I know we're in crazy times. There's not as many in-person events, but you would be surprised at how many local networking kind of things are going on, and they're looking for actual people to come in and speak to, like, it can be recorded or it can be kind of like in one of those situations where you come in and speak to a group that they then record that and send it out to their list. Really, really valuable. Okay. So even if it's not in person anymore, it's still happening. Local newspaper articles. Local newspapers are always looking for something to print. Always. Give them things to print. Give them press releases. If you have a book coming out, if you have an incredible new product, if you've had something happen big in your business, let your paper know about it. If it's a slow news day, you'd be surprised how often they print it. Online publications such as, I was trying to think of some of the big ones. Forbes, there's several that actually have online submissions, open submissions, where Huffington Post, you go and you submit information, articles, things that are valuable to their audience. And if it aligns with what they're looking for and what they're promoting, they will put it out there and you get to be featured in, right? We look at these people who are featured in all these incredible resources and opportunities, and we think, I can never do that. I'll never be big enough. Guys, they or their team is constantly pushing their content, promoting them, and asking. Forbes is not coming to them unless they're way up there. They are going to Forbes, they're going to Huffington Post, and they're submitting their information. So, as often as possible, get that done. Again, doing Facebook interview and exchanges on Instagram, TV, Facebook. While social media, it's a little bit different because you're utilizing someone else's audience. Okay. Local networking groups, YouTube channel, blogs, kind of like this one. There are so many opportunities out there to be interviewed, to share your message, to invite them with a free giveaway, a lead magnet to join you if they're interested, and to really be able to rapidly expand how you get in front of people, how you get visible, how your message gets out there in the world. Okay. So, number one is creating searchable content consistently and getting it where people can find it. Number two is to get interviewed and interviewed often. I'm talking 3 times a week, guys. You should have a goal to be getting in front of a new audience at least 3 times a month. If you can speed it up to 3 times a week, you will see your business start to just absolutely accelerate. It's crazy how quick this happens. All right. The final one is where all of that opportunity really comes into play. Okay. So, the final way of building your leads off of social media is to have a place to connect with them further. And I am not talking about a free Facebook group. Please hear me here. I have built 2 businesses on Facebook and I still host one of them. Our free group is still hosted on Facebook. I think there's a lot of value there. When it comes to serving an audience at a deeper level and serving really just nurturing your clients at a deeper level, a private community is where it's at. A private community off of Facebook where you own the content, you own the leads, you get the email addresses, you can check with them every step of the way where they are on their nurture journey. Okay. This is where you get to stand up and stand out and say, I am not another free online group creator where you hop in and hop out and get distracted and dig in the units and tag you here and message you. No, you are a professional who is committing to serving your people at a higher level. And you do this inside of a private community where you get to welcome in your leads, you get to serve them through free content, you get to move them along a pre-mapped client journey, and then you invite them to work with you further. At that point, it is a very natural progression for them to work with you in a paid capacity because you have already prepared and almost conditioned them to turn to you for a solution. When you can really nurture your leads personally, you can see where they get stopped, you can help them at that next level, then they're going to trust you to help them get to that next win because you've been there along the way already. Okay. That's where the power comes from. Now, I am going to have our video next week. It's going to be talking to you more about that client journey and how you can set up a community to really nurture your leads from day one all the way through the sale and beyond. So I will not go into more of that here because that is a whole nother topic. And make sure you join us for the next video where we go into that client journey. But for today, I want you to take away those three keys, okay? Three essential, just really it's a mindset shift on how do I start to get leads off of social media. Number one, you have to start creating valuable content that people with the problem you solve can find, okay? Searchable, valuable content. Then you need to be getting interviewed often. As often as you can, you need to be getting in front of new eyeballs. And can you do that on social media? Yes, but so is everybody else and their brother, right? Everybody that I know online space are fighting to get in front of the same groups, the same people. It's like you just at some point have to say there's a better way of getting my message out there. So think about getting interviewed as much as you can off of social media, and then you can share it on social media, right? Social media is still a great place to get on and share what's going on in your life and business. It's a great place to connect with people in a way that's genuine and not salesy. I love to get on and connect with my clients and see their kids' photos and just engage with them in a real life setting. But I don't like having to get on there and feel like I'm going to send them three messages and then I'm going to pitch to them, right? That just doesn't feel good. We're going to stop it. And then finally, you're going to invite them into that private community where you are able to nurture your leads through to till they are ready to say yes to working with you in a paid capacity. Okay. That's the process. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Hopefully you watch this and you're like, Cassie, that excites me. That gets me pumped up. I am so ready to make this a reality in my life and business, right? If so, I've got a couple of resources for you here. You can join our free community where you get to see this in real time. And if you are ready to jump into building a community of your own, I'm going to have that link for you as well so that you can check that out. It comes with a 14-day free trial. So you can actually have your community up running and getting paid before you ever have to commit. And you don't have to, you can keep it free all along. But if you ever want to house content and courses in there, then they have a paid option as well. So you can do either way. Check out our free community, check out a free community for yourself, and join me in some of our other videos right here on this channel where you are able to go deeper into building a six-figure business that you love off of social media. All right, I will see you later.